In a quiet fishing village in the Philippines, where the waves whispered songs of the past, lived Liam Aguilar, a 16-year-old boy with a voice that could melt the hardest hearts. He was known among the villagers as the boy who sings to the sea. Every sunset, as the orange light danced upon the water, Liam would sit by the shore with a worn-out guitar and sing. His voice carried both sorrow and hope, emotions too deep for someone his age. Liam never knew his father. His mother, Aling Rosa, often spoke of a man who once played music under the stars, a man with a dream and a song in his soul. But she never revealed his name. All she left behind after her passing was a tattered guitar with the initials, F.A., carved near the sound hole. Liam held it like a sacred treasure, believing that through its strings, his father's spirit still lived. Life wasn't kind to him. He earned a few pesos by helping fishermen mend their nets, often going to sleep hungry. Yet, every night, he found comfort in his music. The song, Anak, was his favorite, his mother's lullaby, his prayer, his story. One evening, a stranger stopped by the shore. He was a talent scout from Pilipinas Got Talent, passing through the village. Captivated by Liam's voice, he approached. "Kid, that song, it's pure soul. You should audition." Liam hesitated. "I have no money, sir." The man smiled warmly and handed him a bus ticket. "Then take this. The world needs to hear you." That night, Liam looked at his mother's photograph, clutching the old guitar. "Mama, I'll make you proud," he whispered. Under the moonlight, he packed his few belongings and began his journey toward destiny. The bright lights of the Pilipinas Got Talent stage were blinding, far different from the soft glow of the fishing village Liam came from. His heart pounded as he stepped onto the stage, gripping his old guitar so tightly that his knuckles turned white. The crowd murmured, some whispering about his worn clothes, others curious about the quiet boy with soulful eyes. On the judges' panel sat Simon Cowell, alongside three Filipino icons. Simon tilted his head, studying the young contestant. "What's your name, young man?" "Liam Aguilar," he answered softly. Simon raised an eyebrow. "And what will you sing for us today?" Liam glanced down at the faded guitar, his father's. "A song my father used to play, Anak, by Freddie Aguilar." As the first chord echoed through the hall, the room fell silent. His voice began to tremble, then grew powerful, rich with emotion. Every lyric carried the pain of growing up alone, the gratitude toward a mother's love, and the longing for a father he had never met. His tone was raw, pure, and hauntingly beautiful. Audience members began to cry quietly. The judges exchanged glances, visibly moved. When Liam reached the final verse, his voice cracked, but that imperfection made it even more real. His heart was on full display. As the last note faded, the hall was still for a moment before erupting in thunderous applause. Simon stood up, wiping his eyes. "That," he said slowly, "was one of the most emotional performances I've ever witnessed." Then, with a deep breath, he slammed his hand on the golden buzzer. Golden confetti showered Liam as he fell to his knees, overwhelmed. Simon walked to the stage, touched the guitar gently, and asked softly, "Son, where did you get this?" Backstage, the atmosphere buzzed with disbelief. Crew members whispered, journalists scrambled for details, and Liam sat quietly in a corner, still clutching the old guitar that had carried him through his hardest years. Moments earlier, Simon's question still echoed in his head. "Where did you get this guitar?" One of the producers noticed the carved initials, F.A., on the side of the instrument. "Wait," she murmured, "that looks like Freddie Aguilar's mark." They called in a music historian from the network who confirmed it. Years ago, Freddie had lost a similar guitar during a provincial tour, an instrument he claimed carried the soul of his early songs. The revelation hit the media like lightning. Within hours, the story flooded social platforms. Freddie Aguilar's hidden son found on PGT stage. Millions of viewers replayed the performance, moved by the story of the boy who sang his father's most famous song with such emotion that it made the world cry. In a quiet house miles away, Freddie Aguilar himself was watching. His hands trembled as the video played. The boy's voice, it was familiar. Painfully familiar. His eyes filled with tears as he whispered, "That's my blood, that's my boy." The next morning, Freddie made a call. "Find him," he said softly. "I need to see him." Back at the studio, Liam was unaware of the storm his song had created. He sat with his mother's picture in his hand, whispering, "Mama, people finally heard me." And just then, a door opened behind him. A man with tired eyes, a guitar case, and a trembling smile stepped forward. "Liam," he said in a cracked voice, "I'm your father." The world seemed to stop as tears filled Liam's eyes and the cameras captured their first embrace. The night of the Pilipinas Got Talent grand finale arrived, a night the world had been waiting for. The entire arena was packed, cameras from around the world focused on the stage where history was about to be made. The lights dimmed, and the screen behind showed an emotional video montage of Liam's journey, from singing on the seashore to finding his father. The crowd cheered as the announcer said, "Ladies and gentlemen, Liam Aguilar and Freddie Aguilar." The two walked onto the stage together, father and son. Freddie, his hair silvered with time, held his classic guitar. Liam carried the one that once belonged to his father. Their eyes met, and Freddie whispered, "Let's sing with our hearts." The first notes of Anak echoed through the hall. Freddie began, his deep, weathered voice filled with wisdom and regret. Then Liam joined in, his youthful tone blending perfectly, creating a harmony so pure it made the audience cry. Each lyric was a bridge between generations, a song of forgiveness, of love, of coming home. Even Simon Cowell, usually unshakable, wiped away tears. "This isn't just music," he whispered. "This is healing." When the final note lingered, the arena fell silent for a heartbeat, then erupted into thunderous applause. People stood, cheering, crying, shouting their names. Freddie placed his hand on his son's shoulder and said into the mic, "I lost my song once, and now I've found it again, in him." Golden lights filled the stage as confetti rained once more. Liam closed his eyes and whispered to the sky, "This is for you, Mama." That night, they didn't just win the competition, they won back lost years, healed broken hearts, and reminded the world that music can reunite souls long separated by time. Months after the emotional Pilipinas Got Talent finale, Liam Aguilar's life had completely changed. What began as a barefoot boy's dream in a fishing village had become an international story of faith, forgiveness, and family. He and his father, Freddie Aguilar, now performed together across the world, on stages in London, Los Angeles, and Tokyo. Each show was sold out, but Liam remained the same humble young man who once sang to the sea. During one performance in Dubai, Simon Cowell appeared as a guest. As Liam finished singing Anak, Simon walked on stage and said, "You reminded me of why music matters. You made the world feel something real again." The audience roared, but Liam simply smiled and replied, "I just sang from my heart." Despite the fame, Liam never forgot where he came from. Months later, he returned to his small coastal village. The children ran to greet him, their eyes full of admiration. Instead of bringing fame, he brought purpose, using his prize money to build a small music school by the shore. On the wooden sign above the door, he carved the words, "For those who sing from the heart." He taught children how to play the guitar, to sing, and to dream. Often, as the sun set, he would sit outside the school, strumming the same old guitar with the initials, F.A., smiling at the sea that once listened to his lonely songs. Freddie would sometimes visit, sitting quietly beside his son. They would sing together as waves kissed the sand, a father and son who found each other through music. The world remembered him as Freddie Aguilar's hidden son. But to those who knew his heart, Liam Aguilar was something greater, the boy who turned pain into song and kindness into legacy.